Ray, last year you won the Mountain West tournament. You've been in the NCAA tournament twice. How much does that tradition and that sense of achievement carry over to this team?
Good. It's building a program. That's what I'm doing here. I'm not trying to worry about one season. I'm trying to build a program, but every piece helps. And our reputation in college baseball is very strong now because of what we've achieved.
Do the kids on this year's team want to continue that, be successful? Go to the
No,
NCAA
no doubt.
tournament? It's a drive for
Done, no doubt. I think they want to take it steps further. I think they know that if they play well, and you're good and you're lucky, you might get to Omaha.
Mm-hmm. Tell me just a little bit about your personnel. You didn't lose much from last year. It seems like this team should be stronger, more confident, more, have more faith in their ability to
They
win.
are. They're a lot stronger. We got a new strength coach, and Aaron Day's doing a super job, and balls are leaving the yard now with a lot more frequency. But the thing is they got the best experience in the country last year compared to probably 90% of the teams in the country. They got to play the best on the road, and they realize what you have to do to get there.
Mm-hmm.
So
last year you went out there with guys who had never played a position before. The only guy that played the infield actually moved to a new position. Is there more? Are you more set with your infield this year?
Yes, yeah. No, we've got a veteran at first, a veteran at second, a veteran at short. We can have a veteran at third. We might put a freshman in there too. It'll probably work out that way. We have a veteran behind the plate. We have a veteran in the outfield, and we have veterans on the mound, which we didn't have last year. So we're in great shape. I'm very excited about this year. It could be the most special year in Lobo baseball history.
Mm-hmm. This is simplification, obviously, but baseball is pitching, hitting, and defense. Tell me about your pitching, which a lot of coaches think is the most important factor.
It is the most important factor. Every coach knows that. We picked up a kid named Wolf from junior college who's pitched really well in the fall, but he hasn't been in Division I action yet. So that's something we're hoping that will do well. And he's got a chance to pitch on the weekends. But the great thing is last year's experience paid off for Austin House. It paid off for a lot of kids. And Austin House has been lights out all fall, and possibly our Friday night guy. So we've got a Friday night guy that can beat anybody in the country. We've got a Saturday guy who possibly can beat in the country. And then the third spot will be left up to great potential like Jake McCaslin or Hedda Sanchez, a couple of drafted pitchers. And the midweek games will be left up to guys like that, like Bobby Modis and Alexis Garza and Rudy Armijo. And, Brandon Warhorsey from St. Pius is going to be back here and closing on the back end. So pitching at UNM has been my biggest concern as I've been through the years, and this is the best pitching staff we've ever had while I've been here.
So it's good at the top, and you got depth.
Yeah, I've got guys. I got guys. Before we had some guys on the weekend moving around, whatever. But our midweek games were just hope and prayed. And now I don't think we're doing that. And now I can go to the bullpen and get better.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what we're focusing on at UNM. Yeah, I'm a hitting coach, and yeah, we've put up some great numbers, led the country in hitting, had some guys get drafted because they could really hit and all that. But pitching gets you to Omaha, and we have really, really, really focused on pitching at UNM, and it's pretty strong.
Who's the Saturday night guy?
That's what I was saying. It'd probably be Wolf.
Oh, okay. So
with House throwing on Friday.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So House gets Friday.
Yeah, Sleek keeps pitching like that. He can have Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Obviously you've had great hitting here, and you just said you're a hitting coach. How's the hitting going to be this year?
The offense is going to be way better. We led the Mountain West and in the country in hitting at some point in time throughout the last 3 years. Last year we didn't. We hit 279 as a team, and that was a national average for batting average because the new bats came out.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, people say, "Wow, man, your batting average was way down." Well, that's a young team, 31 games against top 25 on the road. All the things that were hard had a lot to do with that. And so I think these younger kids will hit a lot better, and I think we have a chance to be a very offensive club with All-American DJ Peterson in the middle of that. Mitchell Garver from La Cueva is going to be a big impact guy, and he's probably got the prettiest swing on the team, and if he stays mentally locked in, approaches the game right, it's going to be an All-American year for Mitchell Garver. And Woodcheck, Steiner, Luke Campbell is lights out. He's probably been our most consistent hitter all year in the workouts, and Luke Campbell's going to have a fantastic year. So I think we're back to having the kind of offense that we had in '09 when we led the country in hitting.
How important is a guy like Garver to your pitching staff, even though they have experience and there's talent? I mean, catchers.
Mitchell Garver is the kind of catcher that you want. He can throw, catch and throw, big body guy, can run, can hit for power, but he has what it takes to call a game. He called the championship game against TCU. He knows how to handle those guys now. Things that I've asked him to do and be that psychologist and that motivator for the pitching staff, he's done a super job. And we have a couple kids that can back him up. Suarez kid's a pretty good catcher, and Alex Real's a tremendous athlete, going to be special Lobo as years go on. He can catch too. There's some really good athletes out there right now, as good as I've ever seen.
Tell me about your schedule. Last year, you probably should have been arrested what you did to those poor little guys. And, is it going to be that much of a murderer's row again?
Yeah, it'll be the same, but we've already been through the junkyard. Now we're a junkyard dog. We're not that dog susceptible to that anymore. So it's going to be hard, and it's going to be tough. And it's how you play early isn't as important as how you play late, obviously. And I've always believed that. And so they're going to have a lot of challenges, but we'll be at home a lot more. We have an exciting schedule too. I mean, we got a series at home with OU, and Arizona State hook up again, like it was in the regional. We'll be here at Isotopes Park on TV. Big deal. So the schedule, tough, real tough.
Well, was last year's schedule and the lack of success going into the Mountain West tournament, was that harder on you than you let on? I mean.
You know what? No, I don't like to lose. But I'd already had told myself, and we planned it out like that. I mean, we said we're gonna get our butts kicked all year, and we're gonna win a tournament. That's how it's gonna be. And we had to keep telling ourselves that, because there's moments when you're down. I don't think the games were as bad as the travel was so bad, because how we had to travel and all those games on the road back to back were really tough. It's tough on kids, but. If you're going to play pro ball, you got to get used to that. And all our kids that have left here have done very well in pro ball. So I think that helps them. But, yeah, it was hard.
Quick look at the conferences. TCU still the bad boy again, or is it more balanced, or are you guys the bad boy?
Nah, TCU's probably got to be the favorite every year. I mean, they have everything that a program would need to be the #1 team in the country. And they were last year. They were. The University of New Mexico has last 3 years beat the preseason #1. We beat TCU. The year before we beat Texas. The year before we beat A&M. And that's something I'm proud of. But TCU's still the big bad boy in Texas. They've probably, you could argue the point that they're the best team in Texas, college baseball wise, ahead of the University of Texas. But that could switch. It's that close. So they'll be the tough one to beat, and most of the blogs and polls I've seen, we're #2.
Real quick, I don't have a real strong feel of your outfield right now. You talked a little about your pitching, Garver, infield. Tell me about your outfield.
We're kind of Sam Wilson will be redshirting this year, so Ben Woodcheck may move to center field. May move Melendez to center field. Campbell will be in left, and right field could be between Melendez and a freshman named Padilla from La Cueva.
So there's a little more battling in the outfield for spots.
Yeah, Logan Lippard got injured, and so he might make this a redshirt year too. So injuries have kind of affected. We had another kid named John Puste that was drafted by the Texas Rangers, who's going to be our outfielder, but he's still nursing. hamstring pull. So injuries have kind of affected the outfield situation. Depends on who's healthy.
You're deep enough where you're not real worried about it.
No, we've got enough guys.
Mm-hmm.
Got enough good athletes.
Mm-hmm. Okay, this team has depth. The hitting's going to be improved. You like your pitching staff. You got Friday night, Saturday night guys, a good catcher, probably the best coach in the conference, maybe the Southwest.
Yeah.
What are the intangibles this team needs in order to do what you want it to do?
Well, they're different. They're different things, but every year chemistry is a big deal to me, and painting a picture. And we painted a picture of getting to Omaha. That's our picture. However we get there, we got to get to Omaha. We're not saying let's have a winning season or let's have some cookies and punch after the year's over. We're going to get after it. We are committed to getting to Omaha however we can get it. We'll go in the side door, we'll go in the front door, however we got to get there. This program is working on improving their facilities, getting New Mexico kids on it, and making a total commitment to someday a bus with UNM athletes full of New Mexico kids getting to Omaha. That's not changing. It's still going to be that way. So our attitude is that. And then when we want to be able to compete hard every day, have that workman's blue-collar attitude that we've established, and fight, scratch, and claw the Lobo way, man. Get there. So that chemistry, that mindset has to stay on our chest every day. Every day. You know, there's a kid, we have a kid on our team named Chris Nunez, who's a hard-working kid. He's from Roswell. And he's going to be real special, but he's having to learn some new techniques, and it's really been hard on him. But he is typical of who we are, because every day he gets his butt chewed. Every day he falls down because he can't execute the drill the way he did in high school and at work. So he's learning, but every day he comes with intensity and getting after it. And he typifies of who we are. We're going to get knocked down. We're going to get knocked down a lot, but we're going to get back up. And by the end of the year, we will win it and move on. We were one pitch away from taking Arizona State out at the end of the year. So we believe we can. We got to continue to work that we can, and we will never doubt that we can go to Omaha. We'll always believe that.
Mm-hmm. How important is it having that New Mexico inner pride within a team?
Big team. Big deal to me. Big deal to me. I want every kid in this state to want to be a Lobo. I want every kid in this state to die to play baseball at the University of New Mexico. And we've got to earn their respect. We want them to be that, because I think it unifies the state. I think it brings everybody together, as we see in other states that have some sport doing that. And last year we were in the top 40 in the country in attendance. Why was that? Not because of my charm or my coaching abilities, because we had New Mexico kids. New Mexico kids were playing and competing against the best. Win or lose, everybody wants to see them compete. They're pulling for each other. That state, that family, that familiar attitude, we have to have it. We want it, and we're going to earn it. We're going to get it done.
Okay, go Lobos.
Go Lobos, baby.